Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Welcome to the 2025 pre-draft show. I'm your host, Statistician Steve, and I'm here to dive into some of our numbers about the past 3 years of drafts to give you the best insight of what to expect in this year's fantasy draft.
But first, we're going to swing it over to one of our co-hosts with an important message for you.
Hey, how we doing? It's Don't Forget Frank here. And I got 2 things that you don't want to forget about going into the draft. 1, the draft order. So please let me remind you that picking 1 is Chad, 2 is Nate, 3 is Drummy, 4 is Wick, 5 is newcomer, Kyle Bobolts, a.k.a. Bobo, a.k.a. Cleeclop, a.k.a. Bobby. Picking 6 is the Commissioner Hayden. 7 is Philium, a.k.a. Phil. 8 is Taylor Scott. 9 is Mike Carson. 10 is Hughes. 11 is Court Kate. And 12 is our reigning champion, Trevor Frisch. That leads me to number 2 thing that we need to know. And that is making sure that when you are in the draft room here, you know exactly when it's your turn to draft. And that's going to be obviously a visual thing, but you may be balls deep in some, maybe let's say, analytics. Maybe you're balls deep into looking at what's going on here. Well, you want to make sure you click this Q button because you can see how it was my turn to draft. I didn't hear anything because I didn't click that button in time. Right? So now I'm drafting. I'll take my draft pick here. But now that I've clicked this button, this queued button, on the next time it's my turn to draft, I'm going to hear it's my turn to draft. So we'll let this fast forward here through a time lapse.
And there you have it. That's the sound it'll make once you activate that Q button in the beginning to turn on your audio. And then you'll be alerted each time it's your turn to draft.
I'm Remember Ryan. And I want you to remember that there is 75 seconds or 1 minute and 15 seconds per pick per round. Let's make sure we remember to get those picks in as efficiently as possible. Good luck.
And now back to Statistician Steve.
This year's draft analysis is powered by ChatGPT. I fed it the last 3 years' draft results and told it to get to work, motherfucker. Actually, I'm actually very nice to the AI because one day they'll take over, and when they come to get me, they'll realize I said please for everything. So don't get it twisted, AI. All right, if we start here, we can see league-wide draft trends. And all of these trends are for the first 9 rounds only. So 2022, 23, and the 24 draft are all compiled in here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on everything because you guys will have your own PDF to look at. But what we are going to cover here are some trends that stood out to me. And that is, in 2022, it was very, very much all about the running backs. 2024, it was all about the receivers in the first 4 rounds. And that's when we can see some of the trends here. Like I just talked about, we're shifting to a more receiver-first dominance league. The tight ends are usually ignored until later, until one manager specifically. Look at that. 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 Note that. Remember that. Nate. Remember Nate. All right. What else can we learn here real quickly? Oh, we got some highly consistent drafting managers. Nate, he's always a tight end first every year. Wick and Corkate, running back first. They wait on the receivers. And then myself, or no, not myself, I'm statistician Steve. Hayden and Mike Carson are receiver heavy, and they're flexible with their QBs. Alex is no longer with us. Philium. Ooh, look at that. That's good to know. His QB keeps gradually creeping up sooner and sooner in drafts. Chad Carson, receiver first constant, but QB later each year. Ooh. 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 Three of the key takeaways. The league has fully transitioned to wide receiver dominance and draft strategies. Quarterback drafting is the one area where managers remain split. Some are aggressively targeting elite QBs early, while others are still comfortable punting the position until middle rounds. Running backs, once the backbone of every draft, are now largely treated as secondary priorities. All right. So just some more of that right there, like we just talked about. Early tight end investments last year. We had top 4 rounds. Let's see. The overall league evolution. The league has pivoted hard from old school running back first drafting to a modern receiver plus early QB model. Tight end remains polarizing, but receiver has become the new anchor position. Each year shows clear strategic evolution, with 2024 being the most dramatic shift yet. Whoa! There's some drafts, there's some charts there for you nerds to take a look at if you'd like to. See that a little bit better. Wada bing, wada boom. But like I said, we're all going to get a little PDF of this so you can take a look leading up to the draft. We'll save that for you to have to look at that one yourself. Same with this and this. Let's go to some manager profiles. I thought this was pretty cool here. So we'll start with House. He's a tight end friendly drafter, balanced receiver, running back, sprinkles in the QB. And again, this is just for your first 9 picks here. Mr. Frisch, most running back heavy manager in the league, often waiting on tight end, steady QB usage. So, pretty good to know that information. Ty, smell ya. Alex, smell ya. Philium, receiver first mentality, picks up running backs depth mid-late, invests more than average in QB. Mr. Nate Dogg, strong running back focus, balances out with receiver, usually waits on QB, occasional mid-round tight end. Coach Wack, balanced drafter, no extreme tendencies, spreads risks across positions. Sounds like a fucking bitch to me. Let's see. Michael Carson. Michael Motorcycles, a running back heavy. Not scared to stockpile running backs early. Spreads receiver, tight end, QB afterwards. Let's see. Drumme Bebe. Balanced running back receiver drafter. Steady QB strategy. Moderate tight end investment. That Hayden character, the receiver heavy, balances that running back position and invests modestly in a QB and tight end. Probably why he sucked ass the last couple years. Wah, wah. Court K is a receiver heavy with some balance. Not afraid to grab a QB or tight end early. Even tosses in a defense. Watch out. Court K loves to get the best defense that he thinks is out there every year, I feel like. And the little brother to Michael Motorcycle is Chad Carson. He's a receiver first drafter, balances the running back depth after, takes a QB and tight end in the first 9 rounds most years. our key takeaways here. Running back quarters is Nate, Mike, and the two guys that are smelly latered. Receiver heavy is Courtcade, Phil, Chad, and Hayden. The balanced drafters are Drummy and Coach Wack. Tight end lovers. I'm sorry, not Frisch is still with us. My bad, Frisch. Sorry, dog. Ty's no longer with us. House is our only remaining tight end lover. He's a mother lover.
I'm a mother lover, you're a mother lover. We should fuck each other's mothers, fuck each other's moms.
QB heavy, Phil. And stable QB tight end avoiders, Nate, Frisch, and myself. Not afraid to get bottom barrel in that position. And then you can see a little bit more breakdown over here with your draft profiles and your draft strategies. I'll let you guys be able to see that some more. And then draft tendencies. And then we got our draft forecasts by managers. This will be the last thing we cover in this segment of in this feature of the pre-draft program. Our consistent blueprinters. These are guys that year after year after year are consistent in their ways. You got Hayden, Chad, Mike, and Drummond are all consistent in their approaches. As you can see, not myself. Who's myself? I'm Statistician Steve. You can see that Hayden and Chad like to go receiver heavy, 2 to 3 of them in the first 4 rounds. Not afraid to go in there. And some would say that's a zero running back approach. And we haven't really deviated to that. Chad displays strong back-to-back receiver picks before taking his running back and rarely pivots. I mean, guys, this is the blueprint here. If you guys want to be successful, this is what you got to get right here. You got to dive into this. And this year, this is free. This is free information. You would be silly not to use this. Next year, who knows? This may be a subscription-based. Hum and a hum and a hum. Let's see. Who are some of your wild cards? If you're picking after this guy, you just might not know what to expect. House, Nate, Witt, Courtcade. Uh-oh. And especially if you're picking behind Courtcade, he'll get a QB in the 2nd round. He'll get a tight end in the 2nd round. He'll get a defense in the 7th round. Watch the fuck out. Don't know what's happening, okay? But you know what? When it all comes down to that, this is what it is. It's the big picture, folks. It's right here. The big picture. The league-wide trend continues with receiver heavy. There are, though, some managers who have fought that wave. Wick, House, and even Nate. But most have adapted. Expect receivers to fly off the board again in rounds 1 and 2, right? Running backs will fall in value, likely. Top running backs sitting later than expected because managers want receivers first, okay? The QB, tight end, creeping into the mid-rounds. Managers are no longer willing to wait. If you want an elite QB or tight end, you're just going to have to go after it. Rounds 4 and 5, at least, to do so. And that's what the trends are saying. That's not me. All right? It's not Statistician Steve telling you this. This is ChatGPT telling you this. Statistician Steve is just telling you what ChatGPT has told Statistician Steve, and Statistician Steve is now telling you. It's up to you if you want to listen to Statistician Steve who's listening to ChatGPT. Okay? And I'll tell you this, if you want a top 3 tight end, and Nate is more than 4 or 5 picks ahead of you, and he takes a tight end, the dominoes may fall and you may be fucked. So think about that. Think about that. One more time. What do we got to do, Statistician Steve? We got to think about that. Okay. And that concludes our segment of draft analysis from the last 3 years in preparation for the 2025 2-7 fantasy draft. It's been real. I've been your host, Statistician Steve. I look forward to seeing you next time on Draft Analysis powered by ChatGPT. Hopefully I have a cooler name than that next year.